Hey guys, we are back again. I'm Peter Parker and I'm here with Jack Sparrow and Harry Potter.
Hi mates. How's life?
So, since it's the international break, we thought of doing a EPL best 11. So, from the early parts of the 90s till now, who we think is the best 11 throughout the EPL. So, we'll go straight to it. And first, we're going to talk about the goalkeeper's position.
First of all, we are going to talk about what's the formation we are going to do.
So the formation we are going to do is a 4-3-3 formation. Since it's the very fashionable position in recent times, we thought of doing using that formation. So first, we are going to talk about the goalkeeper's position. So for me, the goalkeeper that has been the best goalkeeper for EPL has to be Peter Schmeichel. How about you? What do you all think is the best? Who do you all think is the best goalkeeper?
For me, I think it has to be David Seaman from Arsenal.
And you?
For me, I think it's going to be Edwin van der Sar. Because can I make my argument first?
Yeah, sure.
Because I've watched him play from the early parts of Manchester United's dominance. I mean, from what I remember, yes, when Peter Schmeichel was playing for Man United, I was watching, but then I can't remember what exactly he did. It's usually the YouTube highlights and all that. But for Van der Sar, I saw him from what he did in the Champions League final, what he did in the 1-0 when we won all the way for 9 games, what he did. So I think Van der Sar, especially at the age he came, he was matured, he was ready to bring Manchester United to another level, and I'm glad that I chose Van der Sar.
For me, I think Van der Sar is a very good keeper and he made Manchester United win a lot of titles. But the one who made Manchester United into one of the biggest clubs in the world, the iconic keeper, Peter Schmeichel, he is the reason why Manchester United is Manchester United. He's one of the biggest reasons. The way he commands the box, the way he comes forward whenever there's a one-on-one situation, the way he shouts at his defense, the commanding presence, the leadership quality he has, I think it is a key factor to be for every goalkeeper. And besides that, his reflexes are very good as well. So Van der Sar is very good, but the one who made Manchester United into a very top class team is Peter Schmeichel.
How do you know that? Did you watch him play?
I watched him play. I was very young, I agree.
What was your age when the Champions League final happened?
I think around 8 or 9 years old. But
do you remember what he did?
I know I saw at
YouTube.
live. YouTube. I saw certain clips, but when I saw him live, and the most impressive thing about him is how he commands the area. Because Van der Sar is a good keeper, but him and Peter Schmeichel is like a different personality clash. Because Van der Sar is very quiet keeper. He doesn't really shout that much. So very calm sort of keeper, whereas Peter Schmeichel shouts at the defense.
He's eccentric.
And he always commands the box. I think that sort of keeper always stands out. Like for example, Oliver Kahn, he's something like Peter Schmeichel as well. So all that type of keeper, the one who commands the box, the one who shouts, the one who exudes presence, the one who shows leadership quality, I think that sort of keeper is what a EPL best 11 should have, and that is why I think Peter Schmeichel has to be the.
That's a very good argument, but I'm waiting to hear David Seaman's argument, because I think that's the most bullshit
Yes, I
choice
don't
ever.
agree.
Yeah, I don't agree at all. So, but never mind. You can give me your explanation.
First of all, I agree with both your points. As a Man United fan, I have to agree, and I totally am impressed with the players. For why I chose David Seaman is because he was in the invisible squad. He did what other EPL players or keepers were not able to do. Keeping a game of 32, I think.
But
games unbeaten.
But if I'm not wrong, the keeper who was in the invisible squad was not David Seaman. He was Jens Lehmann.
No man, it's him. And I think
No, fuck off.
No, I think.
No, can we make a quick Google search?
Let me check.
If it's not, then his argument is invalid.
So just let me continue. So I think he has been a very defensive keeper. I think even in penalties and one-on-one chances, David Seaman never loses his chances to stop whatever it takes to stop the ball from goal.
It is Dan Sleman, the keeper in the invisible
Then where
season.
was David Seaman?
David Seaman
He was right there.
was right before it. So I think
No, maybe you can show him the Google. Let him.
I think you mistook his
Maybe they look alike.
yeah, maybe.
Alright, man. Then
Your argument is invalid.
So your argument is because of the invisible season alone, is it?
and the other games, whatever you perform for Arsenal, what he did for Arsenal, he kept them for he gave what he could best for Arsenal.
What I remember about him is the mistakes he did for when he was in England keeper. So
The one Ronaldinho
Yes.
famously lobbed him from the halfway line.
So I think if you want to compare David Seaman with Peter Schmeichel and Edwin van der Sar, I think like he's like a few levels below. He's not really a top keeper.
Actually, true that. So I think I have to agree on what you all have said. And so now I have to choose one of your decisions.
Who do you think is the better keeper? As a Manchester United fan, who do you think?
I think Schmeichel was a better keeper.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not disappointed because both of them are great keepers.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the reason why I chose Van der Sar is not because Peter Schmeichel is not a good keeper or something like this. It's because I've seen Van der Sar. I remember what he did throughout that 4 to 5 seasons he played for Manchester United. So that's the only reason. But Peter Schmeichel, the choice I'm happy with because he's a Manchester United player. So yeah.
So we have decided the goalkeeper position for the best EPL 11 is Peter Schmeichel. So next up we are going to talk about the left back position. For me, it doesn't have to be or doesn't have any arguments in it. I think it has to be Ashley Cole to be the best left back
I
in the
agree.
EPL.
I agree
I
totally.
agree on that too.
Yeah, because the way he plays like a modern fullback, the way he goes up and down, he was very underrated in the England when he was playing for England as well because of all the other stars they were focusing on, Gerrard, Lampard, but they forgot that Ashley Cole was one of the best left backs in the world at his prime. So yeah, so the left back is an easy choice, Ashley Cole. So next up we are going to talk about the right back position. For me, the right back, it may be a controversial one, but for me the right back position has to be Azpilicueta from Chelsea because the way he plays the defensive position, the way he's a hard tackler, the way he goes up and down, the way he assists, like even recently, like last season, the way he assists to Morata, the combination play he had with them, and he won a couple of EPLs as well. I think he's not really a well-known or star-studded name, but I believe he is the best right back. I know right back position there's not really a lot of choices, but if I had to choose, I choose Azpilicueta as the best right back in the EPL's 11. How about you?
For me personally, I would like to counter your argument first. The reason why I didn't consider Azpilicueta as a right back is because most of his seasons he played on the left for Mourinho. He played on the left for Conte at the start. Then after that, he started to divert to a more of a third 3-man at the back. So that's why I didn't fancy him as a right back. He's a very good player, but recently his right back, he hasn't been the same type of player he used to be on the left. The one he usually cuts back on the right, then he gives a whipping cross. But on the right, he seems more one-dimensional. So who does one-dimensional best, and who is a very good one-dimensional right back? If you have ever seen that, it's Gary Neville. So for me, Gary Neville, he bombs down the line, crosses the ball. He has the passion. He is a leader. So I think for me, Gary Neville is just on top of Azpilicueta.
How about you?
For me, I agree with Harry. I will choose Gary Neville as the right back because there's no one in EPL that has shown that much of performance that Gary Neville has done.
So since the majority of y'all choose Gary Neville, so we'll just slot him in the right back position. So the right back is Gary Neville for the best EPL 11. So the next up is the centre back position. for me, the centre back that is the best centre backs in EPL's history is Rio Ferdinand of Manchester United and Vincent Kompany from Manchester City. How about you? Both, yeah? What do you think?
For me, I would say it's going to be Vidic. Vidic is very he's a good pair with Ferdinand, and I think at one point of time he was a destroyer at the centre back. Anybody who run past him, he's definitely off the ball and he will take them down. That's my point, and I will go with Vidic.
How about the other centre back?
It's going to be Ferdinand. He's a calm and chilled player who can joyfully pair with Vidic.
How about you?
For me, I'm gonna go with Rio Ferdinand, the obvious choice, because he's a very good reader of the game. He always covers the other centre back who plays alongside him. Not only that, he's a very big personality in the changing room. He's gonna with a team full of stars. We need players like Rio Ferdinand is gonna step up and say like, "Fuck you, you have to do this. Hey, fuck you, you have to do that." And that's what I want from my ball reading centre back. Then on the other side, I mean, the both of your players you all said have been very good players, but for me, I think it's going to be the centre back under Jose Mourinho. It's going to be Carvalho, because Carvalho has been a very good loyal servant for the team. Nobody has looked him and said that he's one of the best centre backs to ever play in the EPL, because they are always have the Tony Adams, the Vidic, the Carragher and all that. But for me, in my opinion, Carvalho did what he's supposed to do, especially beside John Terry. He cleaned up John Terry's shit so many times, which made John Terry look like a very good centre back. So that's my argument for Ricardo Carvalho.
So the situation now is we all agree that Ferdinand has to be in the best EPL 11, but the other positions we are all having doubts. So as for me, I think Kompany should be in, and as for you all two, Vidic and Carvalho. So I'll tell you why I believe Kompany has to be in, because Kompany is the leader of Manchester City. He is the one who made Manchester City into one of the most dominating force in EPL, because they do not really have that type of player. Man City have a lot of technical players, a lot of ball winning, ball playing players, but do not have an aggressive leadership type of warrior type of player. And I think Kompany is that, and that is why I think Kompany has to be in this EPL best 11.
For me, I think why Vidic should be in the EPL 11 is because he's the Serbian Tiger, and he's the one. He was from an unknown player to someone right at Manchester United starting 11.
For me, Phil Jones, Vidic just reminds me of Phil Jones. It's just Phil Jones who can score a couple of goals
What
from
the
corners.
fuck?
Wow.
That's stupid argument. Like, I mean, yes, Vidic is the rash and all that kind of player, but he was the Manchester United captain under Sir Alex Ferguson. So when Alex Ferguson gives something to someone, you don't question it, because Phil Jones is just retarded. He's not fit to be even a footballer, in my opinion. But Vidic puts his heart on his line to defend a fucking ball. So for me, in my opinion, Vidic is nowhere near Phil Jones' clumsiness. So even though Vidic is all the type, will go there and fall down and all that, but he does that for a reason. He doesn't want the opponent to get past him. So your argument of him and Phil Jones is totally utter rubbish.
But I really think Vidic is not really that good of a player because of Ferdinand. I think Ferdinand guided him way too much. And for Carvalho, I think Carvalho is a very good player, but I think in a EPL 11, because I think it's too similar to Ferdinand, and if we for example, if this team is playing and if Ferdinand and Ricardo Carvalho both are a similar sort of centre back, I think that doesn't really work. So I think that is why I believe Kompany should be in.
The thing about Carvalho and John Terry was more of a Rio Ferdinand type of player under Jose Mourinho. Yes, he put his body on the line, but he more sort of the covering defender and all that. But Carvalho was more of the first guy to go in and intercept the ball. He does that sort of Carragher, what Carragher does under Hippier. Like, he cuts in and he takes the ball first, then Hippier just sweeps the ball at the back. It's the same as Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. Vidic goes in first, then the others go back up and sweeps the ball away.
Okay, so okay, I'll think I'll sway, and I'll take your point, and I agree that Ricardo Carvalho is a top quality centre back, and from my argument is they two can't really play if there's really a match happening like in reality. But on paper, I think Ferdinand and Carvalho is the best partnership, and I think Vidic is nowhere near in that team.
Alright, man.
So next up, we are going to talk about the midfielders position. So for the left winger position, so who do you think is the best left wing in EPL's history?
It has to be Sir Ryan Giggs. He has played the most EPL games. He has been a pillar of strength. He's the pillar of he's the guidance to the Manchester United midfield before and after he left.
I think it's Ryan Giggs also. The reason being very simple, because he's the most decorated footballer to ever grace English Premier League.
Yes, I agree. Even though I'm a Liverpool fan, I have to agree because of the achievements and because of how long he played at the high level. So yeah, Ryan Giggs is in the best EPL 11 team. As for the right wing, for me, it's the most easiest choice in this whole 11. It has to be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes, I also agree with that.
So I think that position and that player, there's no really any arguments to it. So yeah, Ronaldo is the right wing for our team. So for our three centre mid, the centre mid that's more defensive, I think it has to be the best captain ever in EPL's history, who is very underrated. I think it's Roy Keane. How about you?
I agree with you.
I'm not gonna deny with that, because
It is
Roy Keane is the
Roy Keane.
best player, not in terms of technical ability or not, but the player who can bring out the best in the rest, the other 10 around him.
I think it's just a pity that a lot of fans or a lot of newer fans did not really see how good he was, and they often think that he's not really a good player, and like people just remember Scholes, people just remember all the attacking players, but forgot how crucial he was in Alex Ferguson's team.
I agree.
I also agree.
So next up, the next midfielder I think should be in the team is, I think, one of the greatest midfielders in EPL, one of the best English midfielders, has to be Paul Scholes. How about y'all too?
It has to be Paul Scholes besides Roy Keane.
I'm not gonna argue with that, because that's what I've chosen my team. Scholes is the best player to ever grace English Premier League in terms of footballing wise, in terms of that control of football, the way he dictated play. That no one else can do better than him. Especially if he's coming back from retirement, I still think that he can do what most of the players are still doing right now, because he's always 1 second earlier than the others. So Scholes beside Roy Keane anytime.
Okay, so our midfielders are Giggs, Ronaldo, Keane, and Scholes. So next position is we are going to talk is like more of a number 10 position, more of an attacking midfielder position. So who is your player in that position?
I think my choice will be it's going to be Yaya Toure. I think he has performed at the position. Like, there are better players, but I think he has to be there because he's the one who initiates the game for Manchester City, and he brought them from nothing to something right now. He was a stepping stone, and he did the starting ages of Manchester City. It means we know who is Manchester City right now.
I just think, okay, I agree, yeah, Yaya Toure is a good player, but if Yaya Toure is not in the team, I think Man City can still perform at that same high level.
Not at the start, I think. Like, at the start they were trembling, and he's the one who shined there to produce the game for them.
For me, that position, I think there's no really any question, because it has to be one of the best players in the world, one of the most complete players in the world at that time. I think it has to be the Captain Fantastic, Mr. Steven Gerrard.
Who?
Mr. Steven Gerrard,
Who?
the one who dragged Liverpool into a lot of
Who?
high finishes in the league.
Who?
The one who
The one who slipped.
That was an unfortunate
But
incident.
is that the guy who slipped?
Yes, you are right.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear.
Okay, for me, I think he has to be in the team. Okay, I know there are a lot of people may laugh at it because he hasn't won anything. He hasn't won the league. But in terms of the quality of players he played with, and in terms of how much he dragged the team,
He played with Fernando Torres. He played with Luis Suarez. He played with Coutinho.
Yes, but he played with defenders and players that around him that were not really that much of quality. So when he was playing with Alonso, he did not have
Mascherano.
He had Mascherano, but the players at the back were not really high quality. So I think if Gerrard went to Chelsea, like in that season where Chelsea wanted to buy him, he easily would have won a lot of EPL. But he showed his loyalty. And he showed how much he loved Liverpool. So I think that sort of passion is needed in this all-time EPL 11, and also the goals and also the drive he brings to that and energy he brings to that midfielder's role. So I think Steven Gerrard has to be in the team and has to be ahead compared to Yaya Toure, because Yaya Toure is good, yeah, but he often does a lot of lazy things and he doesn't track back. And I want a midfielder who works hard.
For me, I agree with both of your points. I'm not gonna say both these players are not good or don't deserve to be in this 11. But for me personally, I think with this team has lined up with only one striker, we need goals from the midfield. And I don't get that from Roy Keane or Scholes. Yes, they score goals, but they are not the type of players who scores week in, week out. And then we have Cristiano Ronaldo, that's about it. So I have to rely on two attacking players to get me goals. So that's why I've chosen the one and only, the midfielding, goal scoring midfielder, the best goal scoring midfielder, Frank Lampard, as an attacking mid. Because the goals he has scored from that position is tremendous. He's the highest goal scorer for that position till to date. So for me, Frank Lampard should be in the team because of his goal scoring, just for that.
Yeah, but I think Lampard is a good player. But if, for example, if someone like Steven Gerrard played in that Lampard position for Chelsea, I think Chelsea would have won even more.
But he did that once. Gerrard did that once, right behind Luis Suarez. But he didn't score as much goals as playing from the deep.
Yeah, I think the issue with for me is with Lampard is too attack minded. He's not really versatile in playing other positions. And yeah, he scored a lot of goals and he's one of the best in that attacking midfielder position. But in terms of the drive, instead of scoring the last minute type of goals.
But that's why I have Ryan Giggs, I have Cristiano Ronaldo, I have Roy Keane.
With defensive midfields like Paul Scholes and Keane, I think Frank Lampard or Gerrard is anything. They can do anything in front, man. They don't need to worry.
So yeah, okay, yeah, I know Lampard is scoring a lot of goals and all, but I just think Gerrard ages it in terms of intangible things.
With by what you all said, I just picked Lampard in terms of goal scoring, but in the all-round performance, Gerrard and Yaya Toure is so much better than Lampard in terms of the all-round and bring the ball forward and all that. I think I'm going to make a switch. I'm going to switch to Yaya Toure. The reason being, one thing is because I feel like Gerrard was at Liverpool. It's not because of loyalty and all that. He was just comfortable there. It's like they were winning, but they were not winning much. But he knew that if he stayed for another few more years, he's going to be a legend in Liverpool. So, but that's not. I'm not going to blame him for that because I might be wrong. But Yaya Toure is a kind of player you cannot ever get in another position. Yaya Toure. Can you all name me another Yaya Toure who has that attributes to just bomb forward and just push players who come past him?
No, maybe Vieira, but Vieira is like
more of a defensive kind of player. But Yaya Toure, when he picks the ball up in the middle, like what I've seen, he just walks in the middle of the park. So that's the reason why I picked him, because this whole squad we have more of a runners, we have more technically gifted players, but we don't have that brute force. That's why I went with Yaya Toure.
Okay, so due to the majority decision, I reluctantly put Yaya Toure in the attacking midfielder role. So finally, we have the striking position. There are a lot of top quality strikers in the EPL. So let's get down to business. For me, the best striker ever to grace the EPL is Thierry Henry, because of his speed, because of his skill, because of the amount of goals he scored for Arsenal, the amount of times he won the Golden Boot. He's just the way he played is how modern strikers or modern forward is playing nowadays. The way he's playing on the last shoulder, the way he finishes, I think he is the greatest striker ever to play in EPL.
For me, I agree that Henry is a good striker and all, but I would really pick Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think he has showed class in his attacks. He's a good goal poacher, and he's also has a nickname. I think he's an offside king. I think he has made the world know about how to beat the offside trap just like that. Just a snap. I think he's just off the defenders, and that class is very very rare, and it's priceless
But
for a striker to know.
yeah, I think okay, but I don't think he has any physical attributes compared to Henry. Like Henry is fast, Henry is strong.
Ruud van Nistelrooy is also fast, man. You should see.
But compared to Henry, like Henry is
Henry
like just
is,
a way
I
another
think-
level.
Yes, it's actually true, but I think Van Nistelrooy also had his prime on what he has done with the help of the wingers and everything. He has been a good goal scoring machine also. His penalties are awesome and everything.
For me, I think Ruud van Nistelrooy is one of the best strikers in the box, and he only can score that similar type of goals, like the poachers type of goal. Yeah, it's important, but I think Henry gives so much more. He can score all types of goals. So
I think you all should rest your case. The best striker in EPL is the record goal scorer for Manchester United, Wayne Rooney. He has done so much things, selfishly, unselfishly, doesn't matter. He has done so much things for Manchester United or in England. He's the best to run off shoulder, run ahead of them. He's so quick that the defenders can't catch him. His link up play is perfect. He's so unselfish that he will just peel off and let the other players come into play. And what else? He can play as a target man. He can hit. He can shoot with his right. He can shoot with his left. He can just score a weird ass goal. He's a good poacher in the middle, inside the box. He's rash. He's hardworking. What else do you need from a striker?
but I think he is not as technically as good as Thierry Henry.
But I
And-
mean, our players, some of them are not as technically good as the other one we have chosen. Like, let's say, Gary Neville, he's not as technically gifted compared to Spiculaeta.
For me, for a striker, I think Rooney is one of the best strikers. He has a lot of things going for him, but I think Thierry Henry is one of the most complete strikers.
I think he's good, but I think Rooney is a better choice.
Rooney is a better choice.
Yeah.
So you think Rooney is better than Henry?
Yes, at his prime, I think Rooney has done more and he has been more effective. I think.
So are you saying Rooney is better than Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Actually, Van Nistelrooy is a good striker, but I think from what Rooney has done, his achievements and all, I think Rooney is better than Van Nistelrooy.
So
I rest my case.
okay, fine. So the greatest striker ever to grace in this EPL based on majority decision is Wayne Rooney. So just for recap, our best 11 is Peter Schumacher, Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand,
Cavalli.
Carvalho, Ashley Cole, Keane, Scholes, Yaya Toure, Giggs, Ronaldo, and Rooney. Okay guys, so that's the end of the video, end of our EPL 11. So please give us your feedback and please like, share and subscribe for our channel. So yeah, signing off. I'm Peter Parker.
I'm Harry Potter.
I am Jack Sparrow. Fucking your way, fucking pussy eaters.